Hi, I'm Gary from Raz Rentals, and today I'm going to talk about the TMNT Arcade Turtles in Time Wave 1 Slash and the TMNT, I guess this is Wave 3 Toon Slash. So, you know, I really wanted to talk about this guy because, as you all know, these slashes are completely different in style. Not necessarily in sculpt, but in style they're completely different. This slash from the cartoon has this very kind of goofy look, and this slash from the arcade game has this more sinister, scary turtle look, in my opinion. So first, if you look at the paint on the back of this slash, you'll notice that he is a very solid, darker color. Not in many places, mostly just on the green. Other than that, he really doesn't have much shading at all. And the arcade slash has got these pixelated squares all over him. Oh, he knocked over the old Playmate slash. Okay, so in the cartoon, the Ninja Turtles are more, I guess, olive green kind of color, where this slash from the arcade is based on this. Even though he's from the video game, he's obviously more based on this toy slash, which, in my opinion, is the way better slash design. I've always liked this slash. He's supposed to be a mutated snapping turtle. So, if he's a snapping turtle, in my opinion, he should look a lot more aggressive and scarier than the Ninja Turtles. In the cartoon, Slash is the pet of like Bebop and Rocksteady, and they never really specify if he's a snapping turtle. They just decide to mutate a ordinary turtle so that they can make him like do their chores and stuff like that. So, in the actual toy line, he's a mutated snapping turtle because Shredder wanted to have a turtle that was on his side but was aggressive and, dangerous for the turtles. So, if you look, the armor and the pads are a lot different. Even these shoulder pads, he's kind of has like these three blocks next to each other, where this guy, he's just got like a flat piece of metal. He actually has like metal pads here with these bigger spikes, and this arcade slash has these little thin spikes, but he has the usual Ninja Turtle kind of pad. Now, surprisingly, you would have thought maybe in the arcade they would have given him like a spike here in his elbow, because the original toy has got spikes in his elbow pads. But he doesn't. Their hands are pretty much the same. The only difference is he's got these long Wolverine claws, and he just has these little dinky spikes coming off of them. The shells are completely the exact same thing. The big difference is he's got this huge book bag, or whatever you want to call it, and an actual belt that connects to this. Mine has some problems. It's been pulled out of here since I pulled it out of the package. It barely goes in, and it always comes back out. For this slash, he's got this nice stretched belt, which again is sort of based on the original toy. So if you look at the belt he's got, focus. Okay. You'll notice that he's got these little skeleton or crossbones and ninja stars and stuff like that. That's pretty much what he has. He's got the ninja stars, he's got the crossbones, he's got a bomb there, or grenade. He's got some pouches, because everybody had pouches back then. It's very popular to have pouches back in the 80s and 90s. So he's got pouches. He's got like a little spike. I think that's a bullet. And I dropped the grenade. But this arcade slash also comes with a nice little grenade that you can put right there. Or you can have him hold it. This slash He just has this very plain purple belt with a skull face. I don't know why. Like, if it doesn't go all the way around his shell, what's the point of having this belt? Who knows? Now, in my opinion, the face of this Slash is like my biggest problem with Slash in the cartoons. First of all, he kind of he talked really dumb, and he acted dumb, and he was just like a goofy villain. He did break a lot of stuff. He did want to smash things and cause some problems. But if you look at these faces, like, which guy? If you were walking down the alley, which guy would you be more afraid of? Definitely this guy. This guy looks like he's going to eat this guy. Like, I'm going to bite your face off. And he'd be like, no, 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 no. Now, what's kind of cool is that the original Slash, he's pretty much the same build. Like, he doesn't have the same sculpt or anything like that, but he's got like the same kind of design as a Ninja Turtle, except his bandanas are all black. He's got black elbow pads, black bandana around his eyes, black knee pads. In the arcade, though, I guess probably because it's probably a little clearer when you're playing the video game on your Super Nintendo. They made the pads purple, and it just looks really, really nice with that green. I'm not sure what kind of green you would call this, if this is like an aquamarine or something like that, but I really love that. I like how the green and the purple go together. Now, one thing I'll have to say about the arcade Slash that's kind of weird for me is these feet. And I don't know if it's necessarily with all the arcade feet for the Turtles, but this one exceptionally looks very strange. Like, this green almost looks like a different green than the green on his shin. So it just kind of looks like he's wearing green shoes. But I love that face. He looks menacing, and he looks goofy, and he looks like you couldn't trust him. He's like the wild card. He's like the Charlie of the Foot Clan. If you were going to compare these guys to any turtle, you would compare him to Leonardo. Now, these guys have pretty much the same exact sculpt as Leonardo, except for the head, and the feet, and the hands. But everything else is pretty much the exact same. Even these pads, his knee pads, they just added that spike there, but maybe it's... No, actually those might be new. It's hard to tell, but the middle pads look different. They look thinner than this middle pad here. So that might be new. But even like the end of his gloves... The end of his gloves are just the bandana of this guy, or like his wristband. I like I do like this, like, book bag or weapon pack or whatever he's got. I think it's a neat design. That happens later on in the second episode with Slash when he comes back and he's actually smart. But the smart angle didn't really help him, in my opinion. He still was kind of a letdown compared to this guy. This Slash, the Toon Slash, comes with these really awesome weapons. Like, he has this gun. In the episode, this gun has a lot of different abilities and can actually, like, split and fire different ways. This is just a really neat gun that is unlike any other gun in any line. A lot of the guns that come with the regular Neca figures are just kind of like your standard Foot Clan gun, but this is like a very stylized, neat gun. So it's really nice getting something like this. Same thing with this thing, which is called the Animalizer, that Slash uses to turn people into turtles. And this has a very cool design. I really like it a lot. It does make me a little nervous because the front piece here is kept on the back with just these like very thin pieces of plastic or rubber. And this is a really great design. I like it a lot. He also comes with this binky because in the cartoon, Slash loves his binky. He wants to get his binky, so he goes around and smashes stuff trying to look for his binky. It's just like something that's in his fishbowl that he lives in before he becomes, Slash the mutated turtle. It was also a part of the Archie comic books. Slash in those comic books, he's trying to find his binky. And in my opinion, when it comes to storylines, the Slash in the Archie comics is my favorite. First, he meets Krang after Krang is banished from Earth. He comes back to Earth with Billy Bomb and Krang, and they all team up to try to take over the Ninja Turtles, but of course the Turtles win. And eventually Slash becomes a good guy and ends up sacrificing himself to save people. He has a really nice story arc in that is missing from the cartoon, where he's just kind of a dumb guy who gets turned into a smart guy. And then by the end of that second episode with Slash, he gets turned into a dumb guy again. So, and you got this really nice baby Slash. And I really think they did a nice job with his face. He's a pretty cool looking little turtle. And then you might think that this pizza just looks like a very regular pizza, but if you watch the first episode with Slash, he goes to a pizza place and starts eating a bunch of pizzas, and they look very similar to this. They're very thick like this, and he just kind of just shoves them down his mouth. I don't remember him actually biting it in this way. Like I said, this design is probably my favorite. Now, when I first saw this Slash, I thought, like, whoa, his head looks way big for his body. Like, it looks gigantic. But if you watch those episodes, he does, at times, have a huge head. Sometimes the model just changes a little differently between shots, and sometimes he has a huge head. And, like, this head is I think, fits this body a little better. Just like it's more aesthetically pleasing. It looks more proportionate. But if you also play the game and you watch the cartoon, Slash is also a little, I don't know if you'd say stockier. He's bulkier. So him having the same body as Leonardo doesn't necessarily fit. He should be more muscular. He should have bigger arms, thicker legs. But, like I overlook that because these guys look really great. Even though I don't really like him that much, it's still really awesome having this Toon accurate Slash. And it's really, really awesome having this Slash. I would also say too that even though I think that you should definitely pick this up if you can, this Slash is extremely hard to move. All of his joints are like super, super tight. And, I had to, people always say like, oh, well, you got to warm them up. You got to put it in hot water. And then you'll be able to move the arms and the legs and stuff like that. Did not work. Like, I really had to just keep on trying with him, like really hoping that his arms weren't going to break off and his legs. And eventually what I ended up doing is what I did with my Leatherhead figure. I actually took a pair of pliers and I don't know if you can see it. But I ended up sticking the pliers up the legs and holding the joints together so that when I was trying to twist the thighs, the ball joint in there wouldn't break apart. It was just such a pain in the neck. It was extremely hard to get him moving. But it's great. I really like him. He's always been one of my favorite Ninja Turtle figures, even though I didn't have him. My friend up the street had him, but he was like always one of my favorites that I could play. So to have like a newer version of him, really does a lot for me. Even with this Slash face, like I never really liked this. I wasn't fond of the huge teeth, and even if you look at his mask, it's like I guess it's supposed to be metal, like he's got a metal bandana around his head. But like that yellow eye to me just looks goofy. It just looks like something silly to make you laugh. Where if you look at the original Slash, he has that extra yellow eye, but to me it looks like a crazy eye. Like he looks more menacing. I don't know if it's because his brow is like, coming down at like an angry angle or what, but that just looks like he's like shocked. Like he's just like, whoa, what's going on? But if you look at here, like if you cover this side, that still looks scary. He still looks like he's gonna, you know, kill the Ninja Turtles. So far so good, I have to say, with these Slash figures. I'm really excited to see what Super 7 does with their Super 7 Ultimates. I'm curious to see if they'll make him bigger than the Ninja Turtles, like taller, or if they'll keep him a little shorter. Because if you look at the Slash compared to the Ninja Turtles, his head comes out in like the middle, like his head comes forward. It's not resting on top of his head. So it'll be interesting if they try to go the shorter route, but just make him a lot bulkier and bigger, or if they'll actually make him like, bigger in size than the Turtles. The main weapon that the arcade Slash comes with is that cool jaggedy sword, and that is actually based off of the original sword that Slash comes with. He has this in the game too. Now this Slash is from the 2003 series, and in that cartoon, Slash is like gigantic. He's like double the size of the Ninja Turtles, but in this toy, I don't have any of the 2012 Turtles next to me to show it, but they're like almost a head taller than him. They're a lot bigger than this toy. Like, I don't know what they were thinking with the scale of these guys. I really like the color. They matched the color of the original toy. The purple armbands match the like the pads and stuff like that of the original toy, and you got that nice green. But other than that, it's like I don't know what they were thinking with this one. However, I will say that the storyline for Slash in the 2012 cartoon is actually pretty cool, and creepy. Like, I really I thought at first the 2012 cartoon was like a little goofy, but then after I started watching it, like I started to realize how like creepy that cartoon actually is. It became really interesting for me, and I watched the whole series with my son a couple years ago, and I pretty much enjoyed the whole run. I really liked it. I thought they did a really good job. I liked how, like, when he comes around and he's trying to essentially kill the other turtles because he's jealous that, like, he wants Raph all to himself because Raph is originally his owner. Um, it was just, it was cool. Like, I really liked the storyline with him. Um, so, oh, and I'll also say too that when it comes to the arcade game, this guy is the hardest boss to beat in that Super Nintendo Turtles arcade game. He's very difficult. Every other guy I have no problems with. I die all the time at him, unless I have like my brother playing with me or something like that, and then we can do it together. But otherwise, he's the main guy that gives me the most problems in that game. So, if I was gonna say to buy, if you were gonna say like, well, which Slash should you get? Would you get this guy or this guy? I would always go with this guy. I would buy him in a heartbeat. And I would hope that in the future, Neca takes some of these arcade designs, because even though he's an arcade design, I wish that they would have him in the kind of design that the cartoon Slash has, where you don't have the pixels, you just have the darker shading on the back, the cell shade look. I think most people probably want that. like, I think you can look past that because for the longest time before I had this Toon slash for months now, I've had this arcade slash on my shelf, and even though he's got a different type of look, he still matches. He still fits in okay. Um, but I really wish they would give him that flat cell shaded color. So, in my opinion, the clear winner in the arcade versus the Toon design, this slash wins in a heartbeat. He's the best. I mean, look at him. He looks great. He destroys that guy.